So I kind of like the way this looks. The black background kind of stands out nice. And finally, if you really want to get tricky, on the trend line, if you right click, we can go to Format Trend Line. We can actually display the slope-intercept line equation on the chart, and you could use that to calculate your answers very, very accurately. So if I make this also quite a bit larger, maybe bold, by using this equation, you can actually predict exactly how many bacteria cells there were at the beginning, or at what time it would take to kill all the bacteria, just by plugging in your numbers for x and y. So this is what's called the slope-intercept form, and you can use it to solve for any point on the graph. So for example, if we wanted to know at what time all the bacteria would be dead, that would be y equals 0, because the y is the number of bacteria cells. So if you set 0 for y, then you solve for x, and that tells you what time they would all be dead. If you wanted to know how many bacteria there were at the beginning, that would be x of 0, so the treatment time. And if you set x equal to 0, you could solve for y, and it would tell you how many bacteria cells there were at the beginning. So that's how you can use that formula. Even if you don't use it, it might be great to put it on there and mention it in your presentation, because that should get you some extra points. And again, if you need to know the value of these minor lines, what are called the minor grid lines, you can just right click and go to Format Axis, and it tells you the major unit is every 1, so you see across the bottom these are whole numbers 1, 2, 3, and the minor unit right now is 0.2. So that means this would be 7, this would be 7.2, this would be 7.4, 7.6, 7.8, and then 8.0. Alright, so that should help us do really well on the infographic live challenge. Remember, the other things that you'll be scored on is your collaboration, so you need to make sure you work well together. Make sure your graph is clear and visually appealing. Make sure you explain your findings to the judges, so specifically make sure you answer the 2 questions up here. And then make sure you're as creative as possible and that all of the team members participate in the presentation. Let's practice that this week, and we should do great for our infographic live challenge.